All Leeds TV. I just wanted to come on and talk about a little bit about the game yesterday, the 2-2 versus Brentford, but also just some things that I said in the post-match yesterday. Now we've had an evening to calm down and reflect, and the passions died down a bit. Thank you to everyone that commented on it, or to most. I'm not going to lie, I understand we all have differences of opinions, and some people see matches differently, but the few personal little digs on there just aren't needed, to be honest with you. Old school people, pre-social media. Someone had an issue with someone, you said it to the face. Not go. I mean, just a bit weak in my opinion, but it is what it is. I'm not going to dwell on it. So I think looking back on the game yesterday, firstly on how I felt afterwards, I was, like I said, I changed. I'm still annoyed at the second half performance, really annoyed. It was there are reasons why that probably happened, a substitution, but I don't understand. Certainly we had to move, I think, 3 players around to bring on Harrison. Just for me, just bring Cresswell on, defend. Understand it. I'm not Marcelo Bielsa, so I don't know his thinking, but it seems strange to have to shuffle to make one substitution. And then obviously when Calvin went off, it just fell apart massively all over the pitch. But yeah, so when I left on 86 minutes, which is, I think, looking back, the first time I've ever walked out of I appreciate people or a Mel or whatever else. If you leave the ground, only been following the club years and pumped thousands into to support this team in whatever league they're in. A few minutes before the end, I'm not a real, and the reason why I left, looking back, is because I was genuinely concerned about how angry I was getting at what I was seeing, like genuinely irate with it. Just the team's performance in the second half, I rated the referee, who was atrocious, certainly in that second half, with what he let Brentford get away with, time wasting wise, etc. Sergi Canos absolutely boiled my piss, and so did their keeper for the time wasting. Look, I get gamesmanship comes into things, you know what I mean, especially when they're winning, but it got beyond a joke, and the referee kept warning him about time wasting, but never took it any further. And adding all those factors into the fact that I thought we were so poor second half, and that's my personal opinion, people might think differently, that we were so poor second half, I felt I had to get out of the situation for my own personal well-being, never mind anything else, because my head was completely gone. So to the point where I got into the bar just before Bamford scored in injury time, I saw that goal happen in real time on the screens, with quite a few other people in there who obviously aren't real fans either, and didn't even feel like celebrating because my head was so far gone, and I couldn't celebrate a draw against a Brentford team who were weakened, who had had 2 days less to prepare because they'd played Spurs on the Thursday, who were away from home, and at times in that second half embarrassed us. And I don't like Brentford. We know there's history there now with Thomas Frank and from the Championship days and all the rest of it. But I mean, that was their game. That's how they went about it. And, fair play to them. I don't agree with it. I don't like it, but fair play to them, whatever. they walked away from Ellen Road with a draw and probably feel disgruntled that they didn't win. I haven't seen any post-match interviews with either our manager or theirs or players or anything. I completely shut myself off to the game last night, and still didn't get much sleep because I was that rattled by it. And that's what I mean about walking away from situations, which is something I've had to learn in life. Walking away when I know my head's gone. There's a lot of personal development in there, which I'm not going to get into on a football stream. Do you know what I mean? But it's about knowing your own state of mind. And my state of mind in those last 10 minutes of that game weren't good. So I removed myself. So for people commenting about, talking rubbish on the post-match and stuff yesterday, aimed predominantly at me and Jack, if you don't get passionate about football, then why do you watch it? If you don't get dismayed at stuff when you don't like what you see, what's the point? Do you know what I mean? I'd love to be able to go week in, week out, enjoy the game from minute 1 to minute 95, whatever it is, and us walk away with a win. And that's not a sense of entitlement that I think we should win every game. I've always said on here, football's about winning, losing, and drawing. You know what I mean? You can't win every game. Man City can't win every game. But I expect the team to put a certain level of performance in. And when I don't see that, that winds me up. It's for many of us. What people deem, happy class, a point, at least it's a point. Always support the team. Just because I'm angry at them for what I deem not acceptable doesn't mean I don't support them. It runs through me that much at times that I get angry at them. Like I get angry at, people around me at times because the stuff that I don't agree with or I don't like doesn't mean I don't love them any less. It's a natural process of being a human being for me. We're all different, right? So yeah, I was and am angry at the second half performance, and overnight hasn't changed that. I'm also looking ahead to the games we've got now, and so it's all right saying yes, everyone has to play everyone twice. That's right, but this run of games now, if we don't pull our socks up, could see us dragged back towards and potentially even into the relegation zone. Now that's not good for team morale. It's not good for fan morale. It's not good for the club in general, and it becomes harder to win. So rather than having those games spaced out against the so-called bigger teams, the more difficult teams, we've got a clutch of them, and we're not the only ones. Clutch of them together, and that could have a massive effect on everyone involved with the club if it doesn't go well and we take 2 or 3 hidings or something, which hopefully we won't. So that's why we're worried about December, because the league table and morale and everything else around the club could look very different come January. It could also affect potentially if we are going to try and make any signings in January. If we're sat 17th, 18th in the table, does a potential player look at that and go, well, not going there? It's the same issue that potentially like a Newcastle are going to have. They might have all the cash, but how many players are going to look at that league table and go, well, I don't want to risk playing Championship football next year? Do you see what I'm getting at? So the game yesterday, like I said, first half was pretty good. I thought Tyler was exceptionally good in the first half, took his goal really well. And it felt really in control at half time, really in control. And then we come out and again, yeah, the injuries and the subs don't help, but we just fell off a cliff again, like Tottenham, like other times. I don't think, correct me if I'm wrong, we've seen a 90-minute performance yet this season from this team. And that should be concerning to everybody. Surely everyone is concerned by that. We're now, 15 games into the season, and I'm still seeing people going, it'll come good. We're very quickly approaching halfway of the season, and it hasn't come good yet. So at what point do we cut it off and say, we're banging a world of trouble here? And that, in a world of trouble at the minute, is a potential, because we've managed to pick up points here and there, and I think we're sat 14th as the league table sits today. But it could very quickly change. So yeah, just really dismayed with it. I am. And that doesn't mean I don't support the players, I don't support the manager. I'll still be there at the next game, and the game after that, and the game after that, and I'll still be singing my heart out and wanting the boys to do the best and potentially, hopefully, pick up 3 points each time. But this is a fan channel where we come on and give our honest opinions about the game, and you're always going to find that immediately after a game is when passions are running highest, right? Whether they're good or bad. So, like post Palace, because we score in the very last minute to win it, everyone's buzzing and we get high, and we probably say things off the other end of the chart where you're like getting a bit carried away there, and it can be flipped reverse. Do you know what I mean? And for many of us who do these things, you only see us talk about football, but a lot of people have a lot of other things going on in life, but we still feel like we want to create content and give fans who can't get to games or can't see the game on TV, whatever it may be, a little bit of a feeling of how the game was, how we feel as fans, whether you agree or not. And it doesn't sit right that people feel like that's an okay opportunity to go on the attack. If you don't like what we're saying, then please, you don't have to watch. This isn't communist China. You know what I mean? This isn't state-sponsored TV where it's forced down your throat. Don't watch, and that's absolutely your choice. Please feel free to have discussions in the comments and ask us questions, and we'll generally respond to them. And logical, sensible debate should always be encouraged, and difference of opinions. But coming on the attack doesn't sit right with me. It doesn't sit right with me, and I hardly slept last night because I was just absolutely throbbed out with the game and throbbed out with some of the things I saw on YouTube and stuff after the post-match went out. And I'm not the only one, but I just felt the need to come on and just give my opinion and put a few things right. So in terms of Leeds United, we've got Chelsea next, and who knows with Leeds United, you know what I mean? We might very much doubt it, but we might go and surprise ourselves. I think positives, great to see Bamford get on the pitch, obviously get his goal. It'll do wonders for him. Good to see Luke back as well. I don't think he had the best game, but I think it's going to take a bit of time to find form. I think that's only natural. And I think we just, as we say, go again, haven't we? But I am genuinely concerned about this season. I am. And we'll see how the next 4 or 5 games go, because we keep saying the next 4 games are massive, but we've also got Villa tagged on at the end of that at home, and they're picking up a bit of form now, obviously with the new manager, and that'll be a tough game as well. And if we've gone on a 4-game losing run potentially of taking a couple of hidings, then I'd be really concerned about the Villa game as well. But it's a marathon, not a sprint, right? So let's see where we're at the end. But yeah, it's just a bit of a frustrating time at the minute, and I know a lot of people agree. I've seen people agreeing as well. I just wanted to put a bit of a statement out there about things that have been said or been aimed at certain people. I don't agree with it. If you don't like us, don't watch. I know that might sound a bit simplistic and potentially a bit harsh, but it is what it is. When you're broadcasting stuff or creating content, normally the best response is, and that's not me as a person. So I just felt the need to come on and just say this. So I'm in a long old Monday already. I hope everyone has a great week. Obviously for the box, there's more content coming up this week as we build up to the next game. I think Tash and Rhiannon will be doing, I don't know if Hannah and Ellie are joining them again. You shall see. I think there's a player ratings going out later on today. So yeah, keep it locked. We do all of Leeds. to when things are going well, but it's all because we love the football club, right? I'm going to leave it there. I probably bored you all enough with this. Thank you. Please, if you do like the channel, remember to hit like, subscribe, all those good things. And I'll see you soon. Thanks, everyone.